Yeah, we just decided to do one. The friends of Midtown. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah, we'll just do it before we officially start. Like friends of Midtown. Yes. Yeah. Community thing. Just. We can do testing. Should we just do testing?
Like this. No, this is not me.
Yeah, bear with us. We're gonna test.
Like this is.
Hello.
Should I mute it?
Boss here. Oh, we can hear on this.
Should I mute this phone? Okay.
Opportunities for rebuttal will be limited, but if needed, will be allowed. At the end, candidates will be given the opportunity to provide a 1-minute closing. Candidates will hear a ding once their time runs out. Also, additionally, we'll hold up a card for 10 seconds left as well. We're here for the candidates to see. You're running down for your time. Those who continue speaking will be interrupted and requested to stop. Tonight, we have 8 out of the 11 candidates running for city council in attendance. Without further delay, we'll start with a 2-minute opening statement, and we'll go down the line order here. So with 2 minutes opening statement, we'll start first with Officer Green. And the question is, as you run for city council, what are your top 2 or 3 priorities for the city? What sets you apart from the other candidates? Officer Green.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Asha Green. I am currently the Vice President of Harrisburg City Council. So I'm going to answer the question. I'm also going to give you a little bit of background about myself. So I'm born and raised in the city of Harrisburg. I graduated from Science High School. I got my master's from Shippensburg University, Go Ship. I've been volunteering in my community for over the past 30 years. I started at the age of 4, so at 34 years old, I've got a lot of experience working with my community and helping my community and the residents in it. Just trying to make sure I'm always giving back. So for me, one of the top priorities as I'm running for Harrisburg City Council for re-election is community and economic development. Creating an actual community and economic development plan. Too often we have developers come in, they make small community plans just based off of what they want to build. We as a city have to make sure we are writing our own narrative, working with the residents in the community to ensure that we have a plan and we're directing people where we want them to go, what we want to see there, instead of just accepting what people bring to us. When we do that, it'll also impact our zoning code. So right now, as of yesterday, we've had 2 hearings for zoning amendments. That's something we have to stop doing. We have to stop piecemealing everything together. When we have a plan, we can then plan our zoning to make sure that as people are coming in, our small businesses aren't having to face astronomical fees in order to have zoning hearings and amendments and ask for requests that they should be allowed to do by right. But instead, because we don't have the plan in place, our zoning code isn't up to date, so we have to piecemeal everything together. That's something that I want to make sure we focus on. Last but never not least, we have to make sure we're focusing on crime in our city. So over the past couple of years, we've seen spikes in crime. One of the main things I want to make sure we do is really focus on our youth. Stop keeping your kids out of programs at 12 and 13 years old because we're considering them too old. Well, they're too young to play in high school sports, too young to get a job, but they're too old to be on our playgrounds. So we have to make sure we have activities for these youth to keep them out of trouble, show them positive things. As we build our communities up, we'll create more jobs for them so that they can be the future for us and making sure we have a positive, strong future for the city of Harrisburg. So Asha Green, I'm asking for your support for re-election for Harrisburg City Council. Thank you.
Thank you. The same question with you, Sharon. As you run for city council, what are your top 2 or 3 priorities for the city? And what sets you apart from the other candidates?
Okay, can you hear me? Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharon Horn. I'm running for city council. I have been in the community all my life. I've been living for Harrisburg. So I have been in the public sector working over 40 years. I worked for the government for 36 years. I retired. And also, I have been working with other individuals. I help people get healthcare services. I help people who that if they needed legal stuff typed up, I help type stuff up like that. They come to me for certain information. I make sure I get them what they need to address their concerns. My thing is that, coming to city council, I want to bring transparency. I want to bring transparency to the community that they will know their concerns will be addressed. Even though we're city council, we have to really let them know what our duties and obligations really are. Now, I know one thing we can't do is enforce the situation, but we can help them get to where they need to get their concerns addressed. Secondly, I know that, they do have, city council has certain things that they can do and cannot do. And I think it needs to be transparency to the community so they can know what questions that come up, bring their concerns up to the city council so they can be addressed. My 3 points are homelessness. There's a lot of homelessness here. Not enough, you have to have a heart for people, one thing, to even lead. You have to have a heart of a helper. to help others. You have to love what you do, and you have to help them address their concerns. But homelessness is one of the things that is my concern. When I see a lot of homelessness around, we need to come up.
10 seconds, sorry.
Okay, and affordable housing, and my third is crime with the young generation. So I can probably elaborate more on that later on about the city council. But other than that, my concern is just letting the people know that I'm going to be here to do whatever I need to do to help them get their concerns addressed.
Thank you for that. Next, at least same question. As you run for city council, what are your top 2 or 3 priorities for the city? And what sets you apart from the other candidates?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Elise Irvis, number 9 on the ballot. And my 3 priorities are economics, destination, and collaboration. What sets me apart, when you ask what sets me apart, is that I'm already doing the work. Just this week, 3 of mine, we run a business incubator, a co-working space downtown. 3 of our members secured in total $6,000, which for them is a lot of money, right? Artists, creativepreneurs, that's what I plan to bring to Harrisburg through the collaboration piece, micro lending. These are micro loans. We're gonna put out more money in smaller amounts so that more businesses can start. We're talking about looking at the Broad Street Market issue. We need a funnel of business and industry so that the doors, these businesses' doors can stay open. Destination. Everyone talks about there's nothing to do in Harrisburg. It's a lie. We have a ton of resources, so much beauty. We have the beauty of having the city downtown and the trees, the nature, the heights. That's a draw. That's why I came back to Harrisburg. Harrisburg is home for me. I came back in 2017, and I didn't intend to stay, but I started my business within 12 months of moving back, and it's been up ever since. And that's how I look at Harrisburg. That's what I want for everyone here, for all of our youth. Let's trap the dollars in the community. My experience in banking as a junior lender, my experience as a business banker during the PPP, I was a business consultant. I'm getting the money in the hands of not just the businesses, but the neighborhoods, the community. We're gonna trap the dollars in the city and then flood our streets with opportunities, with internships, with more pre-industry development. So that's why I'm looking for your vote. Economic growth goes hand in hand with all of the main concerns, public safety, housing. I hope I can secure your vote. EliseIrvis.org for more information, and number 9 on the ballot.
Thank you. Rob, it's for you. As you run for city council, what are your top 2 or 3 priorities for the city? And what sets you apart from the other candidates?
Thank you for that question. Can you hear me? Now, it's there? All right, you hear me. Great. I'll figure it out. But anyways, thank you for the question. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. And I also thank you for hosting this event. My name is Robert Lawson. I'm a candidate for Harrisburg City Council, and I'm looking for your vote for May 20th. I believe that my top priorities are all kind of entwined in one. I want to make sure that we have affordable housing, make sure that we have safe streets, and make sure that we are getting rid of our blighted houses. When I ran and when I was actually on city council, I introduced a program where we were introducing dollar housing to let residents purchase from the city homes for $1 for owner occupants. These are our blighted houses that I believe that we can refurbish and get people into them. We provided a pathway for the financing and also a pathway for the renovations and making sure that the renovators are members of our community. I believe that if we do this, we're going to start stabilizing neighborhoods. As we stabilize neighborhoods, we're going to bring down the crime. As we bring down the crime, we're going to attract more business, and we're also going to increase our economic opportunities for our residents. I'm a lifelong Harrisburg resident, and I plan to spend the rest of my life here, and I want to make sure that the young people that I see in this audience also have that same plan, that they decide that this Harrisburg will be their home and they'll stay here for life. So that way we build our community and we keep a future that's bright for all of us. So May 20th, I'm going to need your help. Come out and vote Rob Lawson to Harrisburg City Council.
Rob, Jocelyn, this is for you. As you run for city council, what are your top 2 or 3 priorities for the city? And what sets you apart from the other candidates?
Thank you. Can I stand up? Good evening, Midtown and other Harrisburg residents. How are you this evening? How are you this evening? My name is Jocelyn Rawls. I'm running for re-election to Harrisburg City Council. I currently sit on the Parks, Recreation, and Enrichment Committee. Some of my top priorities as I run for re-election, my first one is enhancing the communication between government as well as our residents. And I want to do that in tandem with the Harrisburg School District. I would like to have quarterly town hall meetings where you all can come out and get information, not just what's happening in our government, but also what is happening in our school district, and be able to ask and have questions answered for you. My second top priority is 3 pieces, because it's working with our most vulnerable population, which is our youth, which is our unhoused population, and which is our senior citizens. So my top priorities for them is finding them fundamental programming as well as resources to be able to give to them to live a quality of life, but also working with the communities that unhoused population lives in and helping them as well. My third priority is working with blight and crime. They go hand in hand. The more blight you have, the more crime you have. So what I would like to do is be able to work with any current mayor administration and work with them to bring in developers as a legislative body, be able to pass things for those developers so that they can work and rebuild and revitalize any condemned properties or open lots, which will bring us more housing, whether it be affordable as well as market value. I'm running on these 3 things because this is what's going to help rebuild our community, help rebrand it, and help reunite it, especially with the police department, which is also important. We must have a relationship with the police department, so we have to reestablish that committee and community together. My number is, what sets me apart is I'm a teacher. I can't forget about that. And as a teacher, I break cycles and rebuild new ones, which is why I'm number 10 on the ballot, Jocelyn Rawls for Harrisburg City Council re-election. Please humbly give me your vote. Thank you.
Ralph, next question for you. As you run for city council, what are your top 2 or 3 priorities for the city? What sets you apart from the other candidates?
Thank you for that. And I have a prepared answer since we had it sent to us. So thank you for this critical question. My top 3 priorities will be the continuation and the remediation of blight and illegal dumping by expanding hotspot Saturdays into a complete comprehensive initiative that provides career path, curbs recidivism, and engages our youth. Supporting our at-risk families by completing the processes of instilling the Harrisburg Youth Sports Association. This is an initiative that helps our at-risk youth connect to physical education, out-of-school time activities free of charge. And third will be the continuation of finding and crafting creative ways, along with council, to help our families sustain affordable living and a high quality of life. Now, about me, my track record of over a decade of service sets me apart. No legal trouble, no scandals, no charades. I'm the only council member blessed to chair 2 committees during my first term and succeeded in both. My dedication is proven and has been awarded repeatedly for phenomenal services. I'm a certified life coach as well as a certified drug and alcohol counselor. I'm a real business owner who opens a brick and mortar location daily and understands the challenges that our local businesses face. 4 years ago, I created the Leadership Academy, which is our after-school program and summer camp that teaches evidence-based social emotional support. As the brand ambassador for the Captain Hershey School, we successfully opened 2 locations, one in Harrisburg and the other in Midtown. These facilities accommodate 300 children with free early childcare from the ages of 2 weeks through 5th grade. So understanding that the taxpayers of the citizens of the city pay our salary, I wanted to do something extra special to give back. So every Christmas, we have a Writing for a Reason essay contest, where the winner is selected by an independent body of students. The grand prize is my December salary to cover mortgage or first and last month security for a new place. So I have the ability to work intergovernmentally and prove this by working with our DA and magistrate, by upping the fines for illegal dumping and enforcing those penalties in court. I'm proud to announce we just won our first case in court against an illegal dumper. So that's a few priorities of mine and what sets me apart from the rest. So May 20th, we elect number 1 on the ballot for City Council. Together, we're moving Harrisburg forward.
Thank you for that. Rich, this next question is for you. As you run for city council, what are your top 2 or 3 priorities for the city? And what sets you apart from the other candidates?
All right. Thank you for having me here. My name is Rich Sanders. I'm a first-time candidate running for city council. One of the reasons why I decided to jump in this race is for the simple fact that my priorities are trying to work with the administration and work with our communities to increase the safety and the cleanliness of the city. With that being said, there's many things we can do as a whole and to put Harrisburg pretty much back on the map and treat it as the capital city that it is. I mean, we have plenty of opportunities here in the city to draw in revenue. We have a lot of buildings that are not being used, a lot of different things that we can do. We have the Forum, we have the Zembo, we have the Scottish Rites. We have so many different avenues that we could draw in different events and draw revenue to the city, but they're not being used. We have different state ground buildings that are just sitting there empty. With that being said, one of my top priorities is to curb the youth from being out in the streets and try to secure funding that we can maybe reinvest in the VOTEC schools. Take these young people off the streets and teach them skills. Make them more successful citizens for the future. Get them off the streets and make them have some sense of pride of who they are, and that'll make them better people going forward. Like I said, there's many different things, but my main concerns is the safety, the cleanliness, and getting the youth more engaged so overall the city can flourish and be a better place. So again, first time candidate, Rich Sanders, May 20th, I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Last but not least, Vasir, same question. As you run for city council, what are your top 2 or 3 priorities for the city? And what sets you apart from the other candidates?
Thank you, Thomas. Thanks, everybody. Welcome. Thank you, friends of Midtown. Glad to be here. Vasir Vincent, number 2 on the ballot. As you said, my background, a little bit about me. I'm not from here. I'm actually from Plainfield, New Jersey. I went to Penn State, got a degree in mechanical engineering. What this did is it gave me a really strong foundation in critical thinking. I also spent 20 years in manufacturing. What that also allowed me to do is learn how to apply that critical thinking to setting goals and plans and achieving them year over year. My top priority is to take the plans that already exist in the city and actually implement them correctly, implement them consistently. And when I mean consistently, I mean setting up solid metrics that are available and visible for multiple people to see, reviewing those metrics on a periodic basis, and consistently following up on action. I'm not going to keep coming up with new ideas or think about new thoughts. Those ideas have come. Those ideas have been had. I've read those ideas. I've actually pulled together and collaborated with a great team of people. I've come together with people from the Department of Environmental Protection, Pennsylvania's Department of Environmental Protection, from people from Dauphin County. I've had Dauphin County commissioners on our program, state reps, public safety advocates, community leaders, city officials. And I've talked about a variety of topics stemming from affordable housing, community engagement and transparency in government, public safety, public transit and infrastructure, small business and workforce development. But progress on all of those fronts, I will make sure that we make by having and holding a consistent plan, and then actually reviewing that plan with a level of competency and action that I have uniquely qualified for. Thank you. Vice Chair Vincent, number 2 on the ballot.
Thank you for that. That will now conclude our opening statements. Now we'll go to our next question for the remainder of the debate. So this response will be for 1 minute. These first set of questions will be for our 3 incumbents. This is for Ralph, Jocelyn, and Asha. First question for Ralph. Name something that current council has done that you believe is impactful, and please share what motivates you to run for another term.
Absolutely, yeah. 1, 2, there we go. Great question. So I feel as though council just recently took action by having to amend the legislation called CLEAC, the Citizens Law Enforcement Advisory Council, and took action putting that power into the 7 bodies' hands because we had to get that work done. We needed a liaison between our police department and our residents because there's a lot of sensitive things going on in our community, and these officers literally are just walking without any kind of repercussions, without any kind of just any kind of disciplinary actions. So what council did was put that into our own power by amending the bill. Bill 8 of 2020 was now amended, and council went in with a vote, and now we have the power to actually put in forth the whole board and get those appointments done, which pretty much last night we got 2, so there'll be 2 more at large coming soon, and we'll be able to get the Citizens Law Enforcement Advisory Council fully forming, have a board, have a quorum, and able to vote and take action for all the residents in the city of Harrisburg. I believe that's impactful, and it's not challenging the administration, but saying, hey, 4, 5, 6 years is too long. It's time for us to take action. Thank you.
Jocelyn, same question. Name something that current council has done that you believe is impactful, and please share what motivates you to run for another term.
Thank you. One thing I feel like council did that was so impactful was we reallocated $10,000 back into a program called Youth Commission. And I want to talk about that because that was something I pushed for so hard, but that my council member, we worked in tandem to get it pushed forward. And the reason this program is so important is it is going to work with Harrisburg School District students or any student that goes in a school within the Harrisburg city, 11 to 20, about up to 20 students ages 11 to 18. They will be their youth voices as council. So they will create resolutions, they will pass bills, they will get out into the community and see what their youth needs. And as we all know, our youth needs a voice, they need to be heard, and we need to know what they need to move forward. It's a different generation that all of us are not used to, but we can have their voice so we can understand what they need from us. So that is the most impactful thing that we are doing because we need their leadership. We need to be able to pass the baton, and we're going to be able to pass the baton with them with youth commission. So please make sure you sign your students up for that. Jocelyn Rose for Harrisburg City Council. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And Asha, same question to you. Name something that current council has done that you believe is impactful, and please share what motivates you to run for another term.
Thank you very much. I guess we want to stand up since we're standing. Asha Green, currently I'm the Vice President of Harrisburg City Council. I'm over top of the Budget and Finance Committee. So I'm going to talk about the money. So one of the biggest things that we've done is pay off the debt for the city of Harrisburg. We held the line on spending. When things came down and they didn't look right, we said no. We weren't afraid to stand up to the administration and say, it's just not right. We're going to call you to the carpet. We feel like you're overspending. We feel like you don't need these positions. And if we need to cut back, we need to cut back to make sure we can pay off our debts. We also making sure that we had a very responsible fund balance so that right now Harrisburg can't borrow money. So we have to make sure we have the money to pay cash on demand anytime we need something. If you look the ICA, which is the Intergovernmental Cooperation Authority, they just put out the report. A lot of the things that I'm saying and a lot of things that council members have said are things that are in this report. Making sure we're fiscally responsible, making sure we keep a responsible fund balance, paying off our debts, which we have done, and then now planning for the future to make sure we can have a sustainable economy for the city of Harrisburg. So once again, Asha Green for Harrisburg City Council. Thank you, I appreciate you.
And this next question is for our remaining other candidates. 1 minute response. We'll start with Sharon Horn. What inspired you to run for city council? And what would a successful year 1 on council look like for you?
No. What inspired me to run for city council is that, the trust factor with leadership, really don't have as much trust in leadership as it used to. Another thing that, it needs to be changed and it needs to be a lot of transparency. I just want to just make a change. Sometimes you need a change. Sometimes you need to be shaken up a little bit. So, come in there and make a change. To work with the administrative office, work with the mayor's office, work with city council. We all have good ideas, put our heads together and collaborate on some things, together. I'm to make sure, that the mayor's office has good stewardship, they're doing things in decency and order. Make sure, they're using contractors that's in-house. And I'm just being there and giving my all, giving my best, doing better, being better, and giving better to the community and love my community and stretch my hands and do work together with my community.
Elise, same question to you. What inspired you to run for city council? And what would a successful year one on council look like for you?
Elite service, number 9 on your ballot, and I've been inspired probably my whole life to run for council. I grew up and my grandfather, he was Pennsylvania's first Black Speaker of the House of Representatives. The Capitol Complex Urban Building was named after him. So I was around to witness the tremendous impact that he had through policy, through coalition building. He founded the Black Legislative Caucus, which back then was less than 10 members. It's grown to the most that it's had is 30 members. And as a small business owner, that really tipped the jar to push me to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna step up and see if that's what the community wants. I feel like my expertise is uniquely what Harrisburg needs right now, relationships and the economic expertise. Year 1 will look like coalition building. It will look like a lot of town hall meetings. It'll look like being available. It'll look like setting the groundwork for businesses to thrive. Soon there'll be more revenue and resources available, so small businesses can start.
Correct. Rob, same question to you. What inspired you to run for city council? And what would a successful year one on council look like for you?
All right, so this one's kind of unfair because I have run for council before and I did spend a year there. I was inspired to run for council because I'm a helper. As a pastor with St. Paul's Baptist Church, I lead the feeding of the unhoused. So basically with that, I've also brought forth Eden Village, which is a permanent housing solution for the unhoused, which we're looking to get pushed forward. As a member of council in my first year, the first year was a lot of learning, but I did introduce a proposal that council has taken up and is running with, and that was the dollar house proposal, providing the houses that residents can purchase for $1, providing the financing to purchase and renovate the houses through NACA and other lenders, and also providing the workforce, which is going to be our residents, creating economic development and the like of that. So a second year would look like more of the same. Thanks.
Right. Rich, question to you. What inspired you to run for city council? And what would a successful year one on council look like for you?
Okay, what inspired me to run for city council is real simple. Being a resident, being a homeowner, I was just plainly tired of being sick and tired. You know, like as I was out there getting petitions signed and I'm out here meeting people, I hear the same complaints that I've been complaining about forever. You know, we make calls downtown to get things straightened out in the neighborhoods, and your calls are being unanswered and your voices aren't being heard. So what inspired me is to more or less be that loudmouth, that voice of the people, and I will bring all the concerns to the council, to the city, and I will make sure no matter what is being said to me, it will be addressed. So year one, we're going to get things done, plain and simple.
Sarah, same question to you. What inspired you to run for city council? And what would a successful year one on council look like for you?
Thank you, Thomas. What inspired me is the work. It's the work with my nonprofit, work with young professionals of color. And we did a project where we put over 250 hours worth of labor. I see some of the people who actually helped me in this room, and I thank you. And I know we were frustrated after that project was done because there was not action taken based off of work that we did. And I just decided I couldn't sit on the sidelines anymore. I have to actually jump in and do the work myself because I do have the capacity to read and understand plans. What success would look like is a clear vision where everybody is aware of not just what the next year is going to look like, but what the next 5 years could potentially look like, what the next 10 years, and whether we're on track or not, and whether we're going to have to deviate and adjust based off of the actual goals that we're achieving or not achieving, and it's going to be transparent. That's what success looks like to me. Bossier Vincent, number 2 on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So our next question, all candidates will answer. This will be a quick response round. Look for about a 10-second response or 1 per response here. And I only will read the question one time. Okay, we'll go down the line. Everybody's answering this question. Okay, starting here with Asha. We would like you to share which council committee you feel most qualified to chair on is for serving. Please do not provide an explanation. Simply to share the council committee. Asha.
Next up, I'm planning on community and economic development.
Thank you. Sharon.
Now,
Thank you. Elise.
Community economic development.
Thank you. Rob.
Building and housing.
Thank you. Jocelyn.
Parks, recreation, and enrichment.
Thank you. Ralph.
Budget and finance.
Thank you. Rich.
Public safety.
Thank you. Nabal.
Economic development.
Thank you very much. Okay, so next we'll move into economic revitalization and city living. So it's been a large topic of conversation these days. Our downtown Harrisburg has seen a number of businesses close, and there's little sign government employees are coming back in force. Additionally, around Harrisburg, there are a large number of vacant buildings. We want to set a questions pertaining to this topic. I'll share in advance with you a question to answer the question. So this first question, okay, we're gonna set this up here. It will be 1 question, 3 candidates will answer. So the first question here, this is for Asha, Bossier, and Sharon. Okay? Asha, you have 1 minute to answer this question, please. What specific economic revitalization plan ideas will you advocate for?
So step 1, increase home ownership. In the city of Harrisburg, we need to make sure we increase home ownership. It increases our tax base, it stabilizes our communities, and make sure that young people in our communities have a stable place to live and grow up. When you create that community and that neighborhood environment, you cut down on a lot of crime, you create more jobs. Another thing that we need to make sure we're doing is rezoning. We need to make more walkable neighborhoods in our city. Everybody should be able to walk to, local businesses. People should be able to open up local businesses. They shouldn't have to go through variances and asking permission from the city. Well, we want this for our residents. We want people to be able to walk to places in their local community, bakeries, not just corner stores, actual grocery stores, walk to, small businesses so they can be a part of their community, so our young people can have jobs in their community, and we can really stabilize our communities and make sure we have a bright future for the residents of Harrisburg.
Thank you. Boss. Bossier. What specific economic revitalization ideas will you advocate for?
Thanks. The biggest thing is workforce development and in a dynamic way. I would look at the up and coming job fields and ensure that we have resources and we align people who are already doing the work. In our county, we have the Central County Film Commission. We have people who are developing film professionals. We have programs like Joshua Barker and Patricia Robinson and Evolve Trades that are building plumbers and other good union jobs that we're going to need to actually revitalize our building stock. There's lots of programs like that that I would tie into and ensure that we have a clear workforce development plan, not just for our young youth, but pretty much everyone throughout life in various stages. So including adult workforce development as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And for Sharon, what specific economic revitalization ideas will you advocate for?
affordable housing, holding landlords accountable for maintaining their properties, rent control, making sure landlords are staying within the percentage of raising rent. Like buying homes, is a critical economic growth, trying to get people to buy homes in our city. Trying to give them attend classes on how to manage their finances and budgeting, and how to restore their credit and others to know their needs and not get what they want, but to know that they will be able to make a living besides knowing how to live.
Thank you very much. This next question will be for Elise, Jocelyn, and Rob. Elise, what is your vision for downtown Harrisburg?
Well, as a small business owner downtown, I'm on 4th Street between Market and Walnut. It needs a lot, right? My expertise is creative revenue strategy. Bringing micro lending, which Lancaster has, York has, look at their downtowns. A business called Assets, they give loans as small as $2,000 and up to $15,000. Think about the pipeline of businesses that would exist that once they're in a brick and mortar downtown, how they can move to larger spaces like the market, or from the market into the businesses downtown, and then into the malls as we build those out as well. So downtown, walkable streets, working with Harrisburg, HBG Strong is a community development organization downtown who's doing that, working with organizations, neighborhood organizations like Downtown Improvement District, Friends of Midtown, all funnels in. So micro lending will create more capital for businesses to start. We're gonna have more technical assistance, which does that one-on-one support, so businesses aren't alone. They can go downtown and get help right at MLK.
Thank you. Jocelyn, what is your vision for downtown Harrisburg?
My vision for downtown Harrisburg is for it to be lively, bright, and livable. My vision for it is for us to bring in more businesses that aren't just restaurants, but also boutiques, as well as restaurants, giving a variety of things that people can come downtown and do. I also want to bring back where we were able to eat outside in the streets, at least for twice a month, or make it a big event, Third of the Bird, but make that even bigger when we can then go out and eat in the street. I think that brought so much community, but so much business. And let's bring businesses from people who aren't residents in the city, but are coming in to do business, because that's gonna keep our dollar there too. So what I'm looking for is for Harrisburg to finally look like the capital that it is. So lively, bright, and livable. Jocelyn Rose for Harrisburg City Council, re-election number 10 on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And Rob, what is your vision for downtown Harrisburg?
Okay, I think I'm going to be building on the shoulders of what I've heard. It definitely needs to be lively, livable, and what I look at seeing is having more people actually living downtown so that we can support these businesses. Because right now, without having an anchor business there, when there's just nothing for people, there's no support for the people. Excuse me. So we need to have the people living downtown, and also support our local artists. We need some downtown art institutes, basically street art, something we've done periodically, temporarily, but put something there more permanent so that it feels more vibrant, more alive. And then, of course, introducing and bringing in some more of these boutique businesses, and also providing those micro loans to make it easy for someone to start a business. So what I'd like to see is us transform it from being just a commercial downtown, mixed use living, expand that, and that's how I think we start bringing a downtown that's going to stay.
Thank you. And this next question will be for Ralph and Rich. Ralph, what is your plan to make Harrisburg a safer place to live?
Great question. Thank you for that. So there's many extremities that take into play when we talk about a safe Harrisburg. Light that leads to a drug activity, that leads to infestation, that leads to rodents. I mean, you name it. So of course, cleaning up light remediation, but also clear communication with our police department. CLEAC can be that force. So I can see a safer community through the actions of CLEAC, sticking up for our residents, really going to bat when things aren't going as it should be. A safer Harrisburg means a thriving Harrisburg, a place where you could live, eat, learn, play, lowering our carbon footprint, but once again, having that nostalgia back, where we can all look at each other and say, hey, that's my neighbor. I love Miss Johnson. I love Miss Jackson. You know, I know you gotta work tonight. I can babysit, but we're in a mentality now where if it doesn't come out front porch, we don't say anything. And I'm looking for it to bring that nostalgia back to a beautiful Harrisburg capital city that we all know it to truly be. That's why I'm asking for your vote, May 20th, for number one, moving Harrisburg vote.
Thanks, Ralph. And Rich, what is your plan to make Harrisburg a safer place to live?
Well, my plan number one is we have to get more police officers that look like us, that understand our cultures. You know, there's a lot of differences with the culture divide. Secondly, we have to implement more programs to keep the kids, you know, from being out in the streets causing all the drama. And with that being said, I'm a big advocate for bringing back the VOTEC schools, getting with different contractors that are doing work for the city and have them empower apprenticeship programs, do different things to keep the youth engaged and also give them a skill set that they can grow with and become more productive citizens moving forward. So with all that being said, safe and clean streets and different programs to keep the youth engaged will make Harrisburg a safer and more thriving city.
All right, this next question will be for all the candidates. Again, this will be a short or quick response, 10-second. This will be a simple yes, no, or unsure. I'll go down the line. Okay, I'm starting here with Asha. Question is, would you be in favor of converting downtown 2nd Street from one-way to 2 ways? Asha.
No.
Sharon? Elise? Rob?
Yes.
Jocelyn?
No.
Ralph?
No.
Rich?
Yes.
Bossier?
No.
Thank you. All right, so next set of questions as well. Three candidates will answer these questions here. It'll be 1 minute responses. This first question is before Ralph and Rich. Successful tourism often depends on strong public-private partnerships and investment in infrastructure like transportation, signage, public spaces, and event venues. What role do you believe City Council should play in building a thriving tourism sector in Harrisburg? Ralph.
Thank you for that. Harrisburg City Council plays an extreme role in bringing in the tourism and thriving our tourism. Take the project Susquehanna, for instance. We should always look forward to wanting to develop further our products in the city. It can bring so much in, but then we also need to incentivize outside businesses, outside patrons. Let's think about when we were younger and you go to a pool. If you lived in the community, it was free, but if you were from outside, you paid a small fee. Something similar to that for tourism, where we can incentivize people to come into Harrisburg, know how beautiful it is, have museum days. Instead of having just the restaurant road downtown, have it connected where it's Star City, with the stars, all the restaurants on the hilltop, uptown, when you come out and eat. But I think tourism is super important. One of our mayor electorals want to think about the aquatics with the aquarium. It's not that bad of an idea when you think about Baltimore and all the other larger entities and larger municipalities in the area. I think tourism is important. That's why we're actually establishing a meeting with Philadelphia's administration to learn how they increase their tourism and cleaned up their city. Thank you.
And then Rich, what role do you believe City Council should play in building a thriving tourism sector in Harrisburg?
I think they would have a tremendous role. You know, as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of things here in the city and different venues that are not being used. You know, I hear from a lot of people back in the day, you could go see Earth, Wind, and Fire at the farm show. The farm show's still sitting there. Why aren't we using it? Why are we sending all our dollars down to Hershey to see shows? We can bring a lot of entertainment and different venues here in the city. We have the farm show, we have the Zembo, we have different events and different places throughout the whole community. And we also have a lot of state grounds that are not being used. So with all that being said, we could compromise and we could collaborate and we could reach out to outside entities. We could bring a lot of different events here into the city, which would increase tourism and bring revenue into the city and make it the capital that it really is.
Thank you for that. This next question will be for Elise, Jocelyn, and Rob. Elise, we know parking is an issue in Harrisburg, but that's not the focus on this question. How would you seek to make the city more walkable and bikeable? And how do you feel Harrisburg's progress against the city's Vision Zero plan to be completed in 2030?
Fun fact, Elise Service, I'm not on your ballot, but the fun fact is that I don't have a car. I haven't had a car for the last 2 years. Everywhere I walk, move to throughout the city is by my e-bike. And what that does, again, is it traps the dollars in the community, right? That means that I'm eating, I'm shopping, I'm consuming all local, all Harrisburg businesses. More walkable city is what Harrisburg needs. That's how I envision the downtown. The future of downtown is a more walkable city. Again, private-public partnerships, working with community organizations, neighborhood organizations, they'll play a pivotal part in doing that work, and getting that buy-in from neighbors is a big piece to it. Coalition building is gonna have to be the front of it. We have to keep the community at the center of it. I think that we need to be moving forward though, for as far as our economy. It's going to be a pivotal move to make it more walkable, and spending. That's where we went wrong with the zero plan, plan zero. So hopefully my expertise will play a part in that.
Thank you very much. Jocelyn, how would you seek to make the city more walkable and bikeable? And how do you feel Harrisburg's progress against the city's Vision Zero plan completed in 2030?
Thank you for that question. With the Plan Zero, I know one issue that came up was with the community meetings. As residents, you have a right to know what's coming in your community, how much parking you're going to lose, what bike lanes may look like. And that was an issue that had happened, was there weren't enough community meetings, there wasn't enough resident input, so it had to be put on the back burner. But it needs to come back up and it needs to be done the right way. And that is something council can definitely help do by pushing and asking those questions of when are those community meetings going to be and how can we have residents input. Now, when it comes to more walkable, more bikeable, first we need to fix a whole lot of sidewalks. We need to place sidewalks places where there are no sidewalks, especially by Reservoir Park. We have senior citizens walking in the streets. So we need to push where we put more sidewalks in places where there are. And we're going to make it more walkable. We make it more bikeable by once again putting bike lanes on our streets, creating a boulevard on State Street, and getting residents input. We cannot do anything without hearing from you, which is why I'm pushing for those town halls quarterly. Thank you. Jocelyn Rolls for Harrisburg City Council, number 10 on the ballot.
Thank you for that. And Rob, same question to you. How would you seek to make the city more walkable and bikeable? And how do you feel Harrisburg progress against the city's Vision Zero plan to be completed in 2030?
All right. So that's why I said I'd like to see Second Street become two-way, because the city in certain areas is not very walkable or very bikeable. And I think we have an incomplete right now in our Vision Zero. As we said, like the State Street project was something that was halted prematurely and shelved to the point where it didn't happen. But what we're talking about right now is quality of life and saving lives. Quality of life, we want to have more interconnected parks. We want to make sure that people can bike safely and saving lives. This Vision Zero was not about just beautification. It's about making sure that our residents are safe to cross streets, that they're not crossing highways. So it's imperative that we get a full grade instead of the incomplete on Vision Zero. And it's imperative that we figure out ways to make our city much more walkable and much more enjoyable for the residents.
Okay, this next set of questions will be for Asha, Basir, Sharon. Asha, starting with you. Many cities have grown this century, but Harrisburg's population is still down 40,000 from the 1950s. We are limited in taxes we can levy. Our property taxes can't be increased much without population shift. Question is, how do we grow Harrisburg without displacing existing residents? And how do we encourage families with children to stay in Harrisburg?
Thank you very much, Asha Green. So first thing we have to do in order to make sure that we grow our city is to make our city more welcome. Make it more livable for people to come in, make them want to come in. So we have certain areas in our city that we've turned into more welcome cities. And we've seen people pour into those areas where they can walk to their bakeries, they can walk to their coffee shops. We have to make sure we're putting that same investment, that same marketing in all areas of our city. We have some very nice places in the city of Harrisburg. I mean, if you walk down Dairy Street, it essentially has its own restaurant row. But a lot of people don't know that. The other thing we have to do is making sure we're addressing crime in our city so people can know they feel safe. And we also have to make sure we're advertising it, because when you walk outside of the city of Harrisburg, the first thing people say is it's too dangerous to go in there, but they've never set foot in here. And that's the real problem, is that we have a perception. People outside of Harrisburg have a perception of Harrisburg being so dangerous that they don't come in. And then when they eventually come in, they realize how beautiful of a place it is. And then people are more encouraged to come in and move into our cities. So the first thing we have to do is make sure we're advertising, letting people know what's going on in the city of Harrisburg, make our city more walkable, cut back on the crime. And then we have to make sure that the residents of Harrisburg have what they need to stay in Harrisburg, because we have to make sure we're not moving people out to move new people in, increase the housing available in our city as well. Thank you. Asha Green, Harrisburg City Council.
Monsieur, how do we grow Harrisburg without displacing existing residents? And how do we encourage families with children to stay in Harrisburg?
Thank you, Thomas. The growth absolutely has to come from the inside out, which means we have to plan in coordination with our residents and then execute those plans. As everyone's talking about, mobility and transit is a chapter in the comprehensive plan that if we provide a vision that's connected to Vision Zero and actually execute, we're not just here saying, well, one project. No, we should actually have metrics about all of the traffic studies that were occurring based on Vision Zero's plans. All of the modifications that should be made, whether we're ahead or behind, and making sure that we're reviewing that. Even with your other questions with tourism, right? Making sure we have events that we highlight. I'm lucky enough to be on the Juneteenth committee as part of YPOC, where we're trying to bring events. But not just Juneteenth. We've actually also supported a huge week-long event, month-long events for Hispanic Heritage. And that's something that we want to replicate with the people inside the city so that we can make and build a capacity for people to see from the outside and want to come in and stay. But then the people who are here, they should be a part of the growth as well. Thank you.
This next question will be for all candidates. Again, it's going to be a very short 10-second response. Yes, no, or unsure. I'll read the question once, put it on the line. Sharon, please, and the question to you. How do we grow Harrisburg without displacing existing residents? How do we encourage families, children to stay in Harrisburg?
Well, like they were saying, you have to try to partner with other people outside of Harrisburg as well in Harrisburg to try to bring stuff in Harrisburg. Another thing, growth to grow is change. You know, the people have to change and to know they have to grow. You know, I mean, you could try to, you could say, put it on, you know, tell them to grow, you know, trying to bring growth in Harrisburg. But it's a lot of things that needs to be changed so we can grow. And there's a lot of things that that's keeping us stationed, because first of all, we have to make sure we get the distress that we see under control. And then maybe we could bring other people, maybe the people that's already staying in here, maybe we need to have different types of programs besides events. So, you know, to help them how to maintain and live. Like I said, you can always make a living, but you gotta know how to live. So that way, you know, just bringing different type of programs and events into the city.
Thank you very much for that. And again, for this next, this will be for all candidates. Again, this will be a simple yes, no, unsure. Okay, we'll go down the line here, starting with Asha. And the question is, do you support raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour?
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes.
Elise,
Of course.
Rob,
Yes.
Jocelyn,
Of course, yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Rich,
Absolutely.
and Boston.
Yes.
Actually should be higher,
15 is not 15 anymore. It's not legal.
25.
So our next question here will shift to housing and homelessness, which is obviously a big factor in our city here. Just a 1 minute response, and just before all the candidates respond. Okay. We'll start in the line of here, and we'll go to endorsing. Okay. So the topic of housing and homelessness are common in Harrisburg. In 1 minute, can you share your thoughts on your proposals that help residents access affordable homes and apartments in Harrisburg, and or what should be done to address the rise in homelessness in Harrisburg? I'll see.
So, thank you, Thomas. In order to address the housing crisis, there is multiple strategies. You have to address short-term and long-term issues. Obviously, there is a big long-term component. We have to make sure that we're providing and trying to look at the right mental health care, because there is a big root cause issue that connects to that homelessness crisis. Then we also have to address the housing stuff. Part of that, again, short-term, long-term, we have to make sure that not only we have the available houses, but we have the capacity to maintain and keep those houses maintained, which is why building trades, plumbers, carpenters, programs that support that development are also key to making sure not just we're solving the homeless crisis temporarily, but on the long term, and we're increasing the value of the housing sector.
Thank you very much. Rich, same question to you. Can you share your thoughts on proposals to help residents access affordable homes and apartments in Harrisburg, and or what should be done to address the rise in homelessness in Harrisburg?
Well, just to piggyback off what Basir was talking about, we have plenty of structures here in the city that are just sitting empty. We have Bishop McDevitt. We have a whole bunch of other school buildings that were closed. We have other office buildings that were shut down. I mean, we have all these blighted homes. We can make the investment and have people go in there and pretty much renovate them and make small studio apartments or small efficiencies or rooming houses or whatever the case may be to get the people off the streets, and that will combat the whole homelessness issue. But at the same time, we also got to implement programs with the people, because like Basir was talking about, a lot of people that are homeless, they have a lot of other issues going on within them. And we have to address all of that as a whole. So it's just more than just giving somebody a bed and a place to stay. We have to give them the resources to keep their mind right as well.
Thank you. Well, same question to you. Can you share your thoughts or proposals to help residents of Harrisburg access affordable homes and apartments in Harrisburg, and or what should be done to address the rise in homelessness in Harrisburg?
Absolutely, great question. So according to the Eden Village USA, there's over 400 unhoused individuals here in the city of Harrisburg. And it becomes a burden when they're using the restroom on, homeowners' homes or coming in different communities. But a lot of that is due to miseducation or uneducation. We're no better than any other individual because we may have been more benefited, but also unhoused doesn't mean they don't have access to or resources. There are some individuals that make the choice due to difficult times in living or life. There is a coalition on homelessness in the county, also that does the ERAP, Emergency Rental Assistance Program, that will work with these individuals and get them in temporary homes or hotels, motels, that will educate them and put numerous programs to not only sustain their education so it doesn't happen again, but provide opportunities once they get released from the program or come home from the hotel or motel. There are many other programs, but the health office, the different ministries in the area as a councilman, I would definitely take them there. I've drove with many individuals there firsthand, but also comes with responsible services. Thank you.
Thank you. Jocelyn, what are your proposals to help residents access affordable homes and apartments in Harrisburg? And or what should be done to address the rise in homelessness in Harrisburg?
Thank you. First, for helping residents access affordable housing, we had a policy work session on NACA, which is a program that gives faith-based loans to residents who need affordable housing, but gives them the loans based on how are they doing now with paying their rent and paying their utilities, not how they did 20 years ago, when maybe they weren't financially literate about how to not have credit cards and understanding what their credit was. So I think it is building that program and getting more housing within our community of homeowners, not just renters. That is going to build our community up. Secondly, with our unhoused population, we need to bring them to the table. We have to stop making decisions for them without hearing what it is they need. A lot of them don't just need resources when it comes to clothing and food, but some do need mental health resources. Mental health is real. So bringing them to the table and seeing their needs, and then being able to use systems and metrics to get down what we can do for our unhoused population to help them. So NACA for our affordable housing and bringing our unhoused population to the table and hearing their voices. Jocelyn Rose for Harrisburg City Council, number 10 on the ballot.
Bob, same question to you. Can you share some of your thoughts or proposals to help residents access affordable homes and apartments in Harrisburg? And or what should be done to address the rise in homelessness in Harrisburg?
If we can solve this in 1 minute, we're going to have to take it all around the country. But, so with the NACA program, we're going to help expand more affordable housing. Basically letting people purchase if they have credit issues, no money down, and also it's going to be below market rent, so, below market ownership. So basically it makes it so that landlords cannot charge extra money for the rent because you could buy a home much easier than you can rent a home next door. With Eden Village, I'm on the board of Eden Village, and we are providing some permanent solutions for the unhoused. Basically getting them into homes that will be affordable for them, and also tying in with mental health so that they do have that workaround. And then the other thing is the short-term homelessness, and that's where the problem is that you don't see because people are sleeping on couches or they're sleeping in their cars. We have to make sure that, as Basir said, we're providing jobs so that people can afford to move into that next place, and also keeping the rents down so that way it's affordable to move into a place.
Thank you very much. The same question to you. Can you share your thoughts and proposals to help residents access affordable homes and apartments in Harrisburg? And or what should be done to address the rise in homelessness in Harrisburg?
Elise Irvis, number 9 on your ballot. Addressing home insecurity is going to require collaboration. Collaboration was one of my 3 strategies, right? Public-private partnerships. Great example that exists in the community, BHA, Brethren Housing Association. They pool funding from private partners and governmental funding and put it together and have assistance and housing, getting women through providing the training so that they can in the future own homes or be less home insecure, right? There's so many layers to this issue. But at the center of it, we need officials who know how to collaborate and coordinate. There's so many small pockets. Brethren Housing can maybe house a handful of women, and all of the other organizations that were mentioned thus far, how are they being all coordinated together? That's where I come in as a councilwoman. We'll be able to put those coalitions to secure more funding, to get more buy-in from stakeholders and partnerships, because that investment in that block on Hummel, that builds the whole block. Elise Irvis, number 9 on your ballot.
Chair, can you share your thoughts on proposals to help residents access affordable homes and apartments in Harrisburg? And or what should be done to address the rise in homelessness in Harrisburg?
First, you have to, for the homeless, you have to address the situation before you can even help them with their problems. There's a lot of them that's out there that have mental problems, they have addiction, some of them just might just want to be out there, they have their veterans out there, there's a lot of people out there that's homeless. So, you know, to address their problems, to help them with their situation. So that's one thing that you would have to make sure, you know what the need is. So before you just throw them in a home, because they probably wouldn't even know how to really handle that at the time. And some people just like to live out on the street. You know what I mean? They just want to be homeless. As far as affordable housing, you gotta hold a landlords accountable, maintaining their properties, rent control, making sure landlords are staying within a percentage of raising rent. You have a lot of landlords that rent is higher than a mortgage. So, you know, you gotta just maintain that they don't keep raising rent every year. Every time you turn around, every year is going up. You know, you gotta go by the people's income. They have an income base like that.
Thank you very much. Same for you. Can you share your thoughts or proposals to help residents access affordable homes and apartments in Harrisburg? And or what should be done to address the rise in homelessness in Harrisburg?
Step one, well, first, Asha Gray, Harrisburg City Council. Step one, we have to change our attitude on homelessness. So many people look down on the unhoused population, when in reality, 75% of the people that live in Harrisburg are one tragedy away from being homeless themselves. So step one is change the attitude. Stop looking down on people that they have to have drug issues, they have to have mental health issues. Something could have just happened in their life and they're in a bad situation. So we have to start treating them with more respect, providing those services. For people who do have other issues, we have to have a holistic approach. When you have a holistic approach, you have to cut the red tape. In order to get to rehab, you shouldn't need to have your social security card, birth certificate, ID, 3 forms of references. All of that's unnecessary. If I'm asking for help, provide help. I know several people that have left Harrisburg, went to California in order to get rehab services because here in Harrisburg and Dauphin County, they couldn't get the help. Within 10 minutes, they were booked a plane ticket and sent to California in order to get help. That is completely, it's unacceptable. We have the resources here in Harrisburg. We need to make sure we provide them. Next, we need to get innovative. I'm going to go ahead and end it here because that's my time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we're good on time. So we have an additional question here. Now, this would be for a 30-second response. Every candidate gets the opportunity to answer this question. Well, Sarah, we'll start down the line with you. We'll go ahead first, okay? So, the city of Harrisburg has strong mayoral oversight. City council and the mayor have often had tense working relationships. What talents would you bring to council that will foster a healthy working relationship with the mayor? Bossier.
I have a strong leadership focus on collaboration. If anyone knows me, they'll know that that's a lot of times I preach the 4 C's: communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Collaboration is so important. And if anyone knows me, they know that I have the ability to communicate across several lines, barriers. I tend to try to take ego as much out of the situation as possible. And I tend to try to help make people look good. I always try to find what's in it for everyone else.
Thank you very much. There's 10 questions. What talents would you bring to the council that will foster a healthy working relationship with the mayor?
Okay, 30 seconds. Number 1, respect, dignity, and effective communication. And as long as you have those 3 things going on and you work together as a team, no matter what situation arises, the council and the mayor should be able to compromise and come up with a good solution.
Thank you very much. Wow, same question to you. What talents would you bring to council that will foster a healthy working relationship with the mayor?
Strong accountability for one, great question. And I don't want us to get an unhealthy relationship versus accountability screwed. So an unhealthy relationship means we just butt heads on everything. But if council's doing their job as representatives of the people and bring the mayor to the table when things are incorrect, they're not done with the proper due diligence, and just kind of pulling the wool over the people's eyes, I think that's every right and what we took oath to do and serve. So I don't want to get it unhealthy versus accountability. I think council's due diligence as a legislative body is to hold the administration accountable.
Jocelyn, same question to you. What talents would you bring to the council that will help foster a healthy working relationship with the mayor?
Thank you. Don't count that 30 seconds, hold on. Okay. I am a teacher, been a teacher for almost 20 years, so I am, and I'm a mom. So I'm bringing all those talents that deal with communication. I'm a team player, I hold people accountable, but I also know how to agree and disagree respectfully. And I also know how to listen, and I also know how to bring people together and break cycles and create new ones that create a better Harrisburg. So Jocelyn Ross for Harrisburg City Council, the teacher and mom who loves to break those cycles and start new ones to rebuild, rebrand, and reunite Harrisburg City Council and the city as well together. Thank you.
Rob, same question. What talents would you bring to council that will help foster a healthy working relationship with the mayor?
I am naturally a collaborator. I like to work with people. I like to help get things done. I like to give people wins when it's possible to give them a win. So if I have a mayor that I need to have a hard conversation with, I'm happy to give them a win when there's a chance that we can say, hey, look here, this is a good job, let's move this forward. But also, there are times when the council and the mayor will not be able to agree, and we have to be able to speak on that as well.
Thank you. Elise, same question. What talents would you bring to council that will help foster a healthy working relationship with the mayor?
Irvis, number 9 on your ballot. I currently have 50 and serve hundreds of business owners every year, but right now I have 50 early stage CEOs as clients. Government is a business. Looking at the mayor like the CEO, I would treat her like I treat these small business owners as well. Getting them to success, being creative, leveraging their assets, whoever the mayor will be, as well as the council members collectively, and Kohado. It's something I can't explain in 30 seconds, but it's a leadership model, emergent leadership model approach.
Thank you very much. Sharon, same question to you. What talents would you bring to council that will help foster a healthy working relationship with the mayor?
First of all, like I said, respect, knowing how to engage with each other, just knowing, like to de-escalate, character and conduct go a long way. That we have to show character and conduct and know how to work with one another. Whatever the mayor may be, city council, I'm going to work with anyone I can work with and make sure things get done.
Very much. And Asha, what talents would you bring to council that will help foster a healthy working relationship with the mayor?
Thank you very much, Asha Green, Harrisburg City Council. Step 1, respect. Respect the position that I have. I respect the position that you have. Respect the residents of Harrisburg and come correct me and write something down. If not, respect the fact that you're going to be held accountable and we're going to call you to the carpet. That's just what it is. When you respect your position, you respect the job that you're doing, you come correct. You're making sure that you do the background work and you do the work beforehand. Next is communication. One, you can't take it too personal. Mayors get snappy, they say things, you have to make sure that your job is your job. We're going to, I'll stop past your office, I'll ring your phone, we're going to get it done one way or another. Asha Green, Harrisburg City Council.
Okay, so we're now coming to an end of tonight's event. I want to thank everyone so far for the great response to the questions. We're wrapping things up with a 1-minute closing remark for each candidate. We'll start with our first name. We'll start here about here, work the way down. Again, 1-minute response for closing remarks. Basir.
All right, I'll try the standing thing once. How's it going? All right, everyone. On giving these responses, we only have 1 minute, 2 minutes. I encourage everybody, I was fortunate enough, every week, these topics broke down for an hour. Now, I had a lot of help. Just like I'll have help in city council, just like I will need help in the future. But someone like me has done the work. I've broken down these items that I'm talking about, and I've done it to extreme detail. I've done it to a lot of very granular efforts. And that is the type of skill set that we need right now in the city. Because there are plans that go unexecuted, and that is a travesty. There's been ideas that have been had, but they don't get executed. My big thing, I will bring my skill set, my level of critical thinking, my ability to collaborate, and we will truly move forward, and it'll be transparent, and we will make significant progress. Please, on May 20th, vote Bossier Vincent, number 2 on the ballot. Thank you.
Thanks, Bossier. Rich, same to you. 1 minute closing remarks.
Okay, as Bossier said, in these events, we don't get a lot of time to really voice our true feelings on a lot of different topics. But if you go to Rich Sanders for Harrisburg City Council on Facebook, I broke down many topics. I have my bio there. I had different things, and you can actually hear and read my vision of what the capital city should be and what it should look like. Number one, I'm a resident. I'm a homeowner. And again, I'm going to say it until the wheels fall off. I'm going to be the voice for the people that haven't been being heard. You come to me with your concerns. If I'm elected, I'm going to bring them to the table, and I'm going to force it down everyone's throat till we get some action done on it. Again, Rich Sanders, first-time candidate, Harrisburg City Council.
Minute closing remarks.
Well, thank you all for being here first and foremost, friends of Midtown and all the wonderful individuals that played a role in setting up today and just allowing us to be here. Why I deserve 4 more years is because I live off the principle of the 4. If we have the seat already, we should come in front of you and say, these are the metrics of what I've done in the past 4 years, which I do constantly. We brought an award-winning initiative, Hotspot Saturdays, moving 150 tons of illegal waste through the city off of your dime. You do not have to pay it. The former through our intergovernmental cooperation covered the bill as long as we kept it volunteer based. Most of you in here have been by my side cleaning up these neighborhoods, taking care of these neighborhoods. But it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. So the job's not done. There's no I in team. I know a lot of times we get in these debates, and I'm gonna get in there and I'm hold accountable. But if you're not ready to work as a cohesive team, it's not built like that. It's an eye opener for you all. It is not as easy as you think it is. It's an uphill fight every moment, and we have to do it together or we'll not get done. I was just that young gunner, although I am still that young gunner, but I'm smarter, I'm wiser, and I learned a lot. So May 20th, the job is not done. On the ballot, please vote for number 1.
Thank you, Rob. Jocelyn, same for you. 1 minute closing remarks.
I don't want to miss anything. So I am asking for I'm humbly asking for your vote for 4 more years, because here's the one thing I want to work on. Fundamental programming for our playgrounds. I want our kids in the summertime to go to the playground and get arts and crafts, introduction to new sports, such as competitive swim. I want drama. I want to expand our field trips, and I want them to learn chess. That's why I'm asking for 4 more years so I can get these programs right at our playgrounds, so individuals from other counties will come and ask, can they be a part of our playground? You sure can for $50 a week. Now we're bringing in revenue. And raise your hand if you have a dog. Anybody here have a dog? Oh, I want to get 4 dog parks in our city. There's no reason to have a dog park in the capital city of Harrisburg. Fundamental program at our playgrounds, dog parks, and much more. Let's get this to be the capital city it's supposed to be. 4 more years, Jocelyn Ross, Harrisburg City Council, number 10 in the ballot. We're going to start a new cycle.
Rob, same to you. 1 minute closing remarks.
I have to follow this. All right. But so when I was on council before, I started an initiative. It's been spoken about with myself and a couple other council members. I want to make sure that we can make this thing move forward. It's going to help us improve our neighborhoods. It's going to help us improve neighborhoods with fighting gentrification. It's going to make sure that we have more responsible homeowners in our city, expand our tax base, and the like of that. We've heard a lot of things via the questions about some of the daunting things that are approaching our city right now. It sounds scary, like we're not going to be able to make it, but I know that we will, because as one of the mayoral candidates has said, we have great natural resources. And I'm not talking about the river, and I'm not talking about the aquarium. I'm talking about the people that are sitting in this room. These natural resources that we have, the people that we have that have come here today, those that are watching online, and those here that love this city as their home. I know that we can make a better Harrisburg if we all work together. Thank you, Rob Lawson. Thank you very much.
Denise, same to you. 1 minute closing remarks.
All right, Elise Irvis, number 9 on your ballot, and I'm asking for your vote because it's time. It's time Harrisburg to stop playing broke. We have what we need. I'm a leader. I'm going to lead a leader that listens, progress that lasts. Electing me will attract new businesses, we will retain existing businesses, and will create conditions for more productive investments. We'll have new families, downtown, midtown, uptown, on the hill. Business corridors will be thriving. People will be shopping, more commerce, more dollars will be on the street, and we're gonna trap those dollars in our community through our spending, through our procurement process. We're gonna use data, metrics, the diversity study, that comprehensive plan. We're gonna use data-centered ideas and plans. We're going to partner, collaborate with stakeholders, with the larger companies, and with our neighbor organizations to get things done. Elise Irvis, number 9 on your ballot.
Thank you very much. Sharon, same to you. 1 minute closing remarks.
Okay, Sharon Horn, number 5 on the ballot. I just waited. But anyway, I just wanted that, I'm gonna bring my heart, I'm gonna bring my expertise of helping people to address their concerns like I always do. I help right now as I speak, I'm helping somebody else right now. So I help a lot of people that come to me and these things addressed, and that's what I do. I make sure they get the information they can of where they can go and who they can go to. And if I don't know, I'm gonna make sure I get their information, get the resources they need, and get back in touch with them. And make sure we all collaborate together in the city council and the mayor.
Thank you very much. And lastly,
Good evening. Sorry. Good evening, everybody. Once again, Asha Green for Harrisburg City Council. I'd like to humbly ask for your support on May 20th when you go out to vote. I've been doing the work, from volunteering in our communities to my time on the Harrisburg School Board to my time on Harrisburg City Council. On City Council, I helped to create the CLEAC Citizens Law Enforcement Advisory Commission, making sure we went out to the residents. We went to different communities. We had those conversations, making sure that the residents' input was truly in this bill. I've worked to make sure we responsibly pay off the debt for the city of Harrisburg so that we don't have that burden continuing to loom over our heads. I've supported small businesses. I've supported youth programs. I've supported our playgrounds and our seniors. Harrisburg, right now, we're at a pivotal point. We're at a point where we have to plan our future and make sure we execute. But in order to do that, we have to make sure we have the right people in the right places. I'm asking you to make sure I'm one of those people to move Harrisburg forward, to make sure we continue to have the success that we need, and to make sure we have a sustainable future for us, our children, our grandchildren, and many more to come. Thank you, Asha Green, Harrisburg City Council.
I know you mentioned earlier there may be a small time for rebuttal. Was there a 30-second time for rebuttal?
We had it only if someone was explicitly called out.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
There was misinformation.
No, just wanted to announce Harrisburg City Council does have a cleanup this Saturday from 10 to 12. For anybody that let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
No, thank you for that as well. Appreciate it. Afterwards as well, we'll invite everybody to stick around here, network out, talk to your prospective council people as well. Get an opportunity.
Also, one other thing, there's an amazing show that's opening up here at Open Stage in a few weeks. What is the opening day? I should know, I'm on the board.
The 31st.
The 34st, the Colored Museum. It is gonna be absolutely excellent. It's a partnership with Sankofa African American Theater. So check that out as well. But otherwise, May 20th is tremendously important.
It runs until Juneteenth. Yep, all the dates are on our website and Sankofa's website.
If we're doing announcements, I think.
But, that would conclude our meeting. I want to thank all the candidates tonight. Thank all our volunteers and today as well. And last one is a late shout out to the late great Carl Singleton, not here tonight.
Thank you.
Hey.